All right, so literary terms, let's do metaphor. So, metaphor is one of the most popular and important literary devices or literary terms. So, we're going to go over pretty much the top 10. I'm not sure how many I'm going to do, 10, 15 in that range. But the ones that pop up a lot and that you can carry yourself with high marks, especially if you develop your writing skills, which we're going to work on in this course, obviously, not only learning about literary devices, but also a lot of specific word choices that you will include in your essay writing, how to structure it. That's the real key, is don't be intimidated by the fact that there are 100 literary devices. You're probably only going to need to use, maybe 10 or 12. You might talk about 2 or 3 per essay. So maybe you'll have a couple essays per class in history class and in English class, etc., for each year, and then college, etc. You might have some film classes. It's really helpful, these literary devices. They pop up. There is a version of them, even in film class, right? There's a version of literary devices, not necessarily exactly the same, or maybe it's more visual, but there's, music, they have soundtracks. So we're going to have other classes about all that other stuff. This is crucial, and metaphor is very, very important. So, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet the sun. Romeo and Juliet, William Shakespeare. Very popular, ninth grade, I think, maybe 10th grade, but usually ninth. Some students read it even younger. Yeah, this is a metaphor. It's saying that Juliet is the sun. If it was a simile, it would say Juliet is like the sun because she emanates this beautiful light, and through yonder window breaks, and she is rising in the east, etc. But it's not. It's a metaphor. So a metaphor is a comparison between two things or people or ideas without using like or as. So a metaphor does not use like or as. So metaphor is here, right? Juliet is the sun. It is the east, and Juliet, that's a metaphor, making that direct connection. So what does it do? It lets us know, it paints this vivid picture of exactly who this speaker is and how this speaker feels about Juliet, an outwardly positive, friendly, upbeat element. This is sort of the romance aspect of the play, right? The play's about love, right? Example 2. I'm a riddle in 9 syllables. Okay, so here it is. I'm a riddle. It's not saying, oh, I'm like a riddle. That's a simile, right? Or I am as a riddle, might be. That's also a simile. You're saying, I'm a riddle. That is a metaphor. Now let's have some fun. I'm a riddle in 9 syllables. That's 9 syllables. Let's read the next line. An elephant, a ponderous house. That's also 9 syllables. A melon strolling onto tendrils. Also 9 syllables. If you read every single one of these lines, they're all 9 syllables. That's pretty amazing. These writers spend so many hours, crafting and thinking and pondering, and then they try to create this wonderful world, and pretty self-contained, right? You can read a lot of poems relatively fast. It's not like it's going to take you an entire weekend to read one poem, unless it's like an epic poem, a super long poem, like Homer, for example. For example, the Canterbury Tales by Chaucer. But most poems are pretty short. They're 16 lines, or 32 lines, or, they're short. That's really where the joy is, right? That you can get this just blast of just the deliciousness of language in this relatively short, self-contained pieces. I mean, it's really amazing. Poetry is really amazing, and I don't want the new generations to lose your guys' connection, right? Your guys' connection to poetry. I think it's so important. I think, as technology grows and as we get stuck on these screens more and more, I think it's more important that we go back to simplicity, language, connection, relationships, kindness, peace, stillness, silence. So this is all sort of part of where I'm sort of pushing with these courses, and sort of what we're doing is just really want to get back to what really matters. I mean, technology is great, but I just don't want you guys to lose your humanity. And poetry really is emblematic of that. So it's wonderful. Metaphor, there's lots, you're going to find lots and lots of metaphors all over great works of literature. And I really want you guys to feel strongly about this poem or that poem. Like, really build an opinion and look at what you do like about specific poets and poems. I find value in a lot of these poems. I mean, even Shel Silverstein, he wrote Light in the Attic. I mean, he wrote some of these, I think, Where the Sidewalk Ends. He wrote some of these funny sort of contemporary poems. I love him, but he's totally different than William Wordsworth or Samuel Taylor Coleridge or William Shakespeare. Totally different, but you can really find value in all of them. So hopefully by the end of this course, you guys at least appreciate poets, and you're able to write cogently and succinctly a literary analysis paper using a poem as your source material.